Hello. If you watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that I talk about random uh, uh, records that I have in my vinyl collection. Not just my vinyl collection, but mine and my spouse's vinyl collection. We've been um, well, we love music, so we definitely go out and purchase records, CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays that of our favorite artists. Anyways, what I do is I pick some random records and I quickly give you some stats about them if I can remember them, and maybe what memories I have of those specific records. Anyways, here we go. So I'm going to start over here. I'll just pull this one out, and we have this is more my spouse's record, so I can't really tell you much about this artist. I know that I've liked some of her music in the past. This is a record that wasn't released commercially, um, and it is called Fantasy by Azealia Banks. So this is a gatefold. Now, I know Azealia Banks has had some controversy in the past in which she's made some very controversial comments. I'm not going to get into them, but this is her album here. It's Fantasy. It's very nice. It's a dual colored vinyl. It's like pink and a little bit of purple. It's really nice. I'm not really familiar with any of the tracks on here. I do recall that I do like some of her previous tracks, but I myself wouldn't purchase her music. This is my partner's record, and he certainly enjoys Azealia Banks' music. Anyways, this record consists of two records, and it's got four sides, A, B, C, D. And you have the songs Out of Space, Neptune featuring Shiesty, Atlantis, Fantasy, Fuck Up the Fun, excuse my language, I'm a Reed, Fierce, Chips, Nathan, which features Styles P, Later, spelled L8R. That's one record, and record two with sides C and D include Jumanji, Aquababe, Running, Us or US, Paradiso, Luxury, Azealia Skit, Esta Noche, and Salute. So that's what you got here. And like I said, it's a double colored vinyl, gatefold, and it's specific to Azealia Banks. I believe it was her that released this. So that's that record. Sorry, I can't share more info about it. I don't think it charted because it wasn't really a huge commercial success. Anyways, I'm going to go and pick something from down here. If you can't see me. Anyways, here's what I picked. Now, this is an 80s record, and it's an artist from an artist that I really like. He still does music today, and his name is Howard Jones. And this is called the 12-inch album, which is called that because it's extended versions or longer versions of his most notable songs at that time. So there's some really good three tracks I really like on this album, but they include New Song, which is documented as a new version here. What Is Love is one of his more well-known songs, and it includes the extended mix of that. Like to Get to Know You Well is another song. It's an international mix, and Pearl in the Shell is the extended mix and previously unreleased. So it was produced by Rupert Hine, and it's Howard Jones. This album actually came out in 1984. So I was a wee young lad back then. I think I was 13. But anyways, this is the 12-inch album. by Howard Jones. Then I'm going to pick something from down here, and I'm going with... it's an excellent record, excellent star, one of the best-selling artists ever. It's Whitney Houston. And this album is called Whitney. And it's a limited edition of exclusive sky blue color vinyl, which was released in 2023. The original album was released in 1987, and it had huge hits. One of the biggest hits was I Want to Dance with Somebody Who Loves Me. I think that's a #1 Billboard Hot 100. It also had Love Will Save the Day, Didn't We Almost Have It All, So Emotional, Where Do Broken Hearts Go? A huge album. This was produced, some of the stuff here was produced by Michael Mazur, Kashif, Narada Michael Walden, and Jelly Bean. Jelly Bean was a big 80s DJ who worked with Madonna. And he actually did Love Will Save the Day. Yeah. So there you go. Did I mention Where Do Broken Hearts Go? That was a huge hit for her as well. All vocal arrangements were by Whitney Houston. She, in my opinion, has one of the greatest voices ever. I really, really loved hearing and still love listening to Whitney Houston's albums. I remember back in the mid-'80s, probably around 1985, I remember her coming out with her self-titled album. And it had the huge hits, Saving All My Love for You, How Will I Know? But the one song in that album that I loved, I don't think it was a huge hit. It was called You Give Good Love. And that's one of my favorite slow jams ever. Anyways, Whitney Houston, one of the best-selling female artists of all time. Great record. Great record from 1987. Re-released in 2023. It isn't opened yet because I have an older version that I listened to. So that's Whitney. Now I'm going to go over here to this side and I'm going to pull this record. This is from a dance artist called Little Louie. And he had one of the biggest singles from 1992 called French Kiss. Sorry, wrong. 1992 would have been from this album, and it's called Club Lonely. This album is, it's written, produced, and arranged by Little Louie. Unfortunately, I don't know his real name, so I apologize for that. But that's the front cover, and this is the back cover. It's like the same. It's kind of cool. But yeah, this is certainly a club dance artist. And I should say it's Little Louie in the World. That's what he was called back then. And this actually is the remixes of Club Lonely. So we had remixes called I'm on the Guest List Mix, DJ Pierre's Afro Club Mix, Radically Lonely Mix, Bell Bottoms and Platforms Mix, Not on the List Instrumental, Real Instrumental, and Latin Groove Mix. I believe that it says here lead vocals by Joy Sibby or Joy. But I'm almost positive Joy Caldwell, who is a great club music dance diva from the late 90s to mid 2000s. She had many Billboard Dance Club play hits. I think she sings the vocals on this, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, this is a great track. One of my favorite club hits. Club Lonely, 12-inch single. I'm going to go over here and I am going to pick this record. Now this is from one of my favorite 80s bands who are still touring today and probably one of the biggest money makers in terms of tours in the last couple of years. is Depeche Mode. Depeche Mode um, began way back in the early 80s, if not the late 70s. Uh, and the actual member who formed the band was Vince Clarke, who is now with Erasure. But Vince Clarke left shortly after the first album because he didn't like the direction in which Depeche Mode was going. But anyways, they kept going and were hugely successful. This is one of their songs back from 1983. It's called Get the Balance Right, and it's a 12-inch remix. It has The Great Outdoors, Tora Tora Tora, Get the Balance Right edited mix, and there's Tora Tora is a live recording from Hammersmith in 1982. Not one of their best singles, but it's a good remix single. So that's from 1983. Is it 1983? Yeah. Okay. Moving on, I'm going to pick something from here randomly. And here we go. We have another 80s band. This band and this record kind of gets me a little emotional because I was going through some pretty heavy shit as a teenager. Not being able to live my authentic life because I obviously I grew up thinking and not thinking, but I grew up in a community that was very anti-gay, and knowing that I was gay, I wasn't out, but I know that I was gay as a teenager, and having all these feelings oppressed because everybody around me was saying, that gay people shouldn't have the same rights we did or heterosexuals do. They also said that gay people should die. So it was a very hard time as a teenager to be gay. So I suppressed those feelings and lived as a heterosexual. I don't know why. I guess people knew I was gay, but they just didn't want to say anything. But I suppressed those emotions and came out later in my 20s. But this album, enough about that, but this album was from a group called Bronski Beat, which was led by lead singer Jimmy Somerville. And the biggest song from this album was called Small Town Boy. And back in 1984, when this record originally came out, this is a 2018 repress, but when this originally came out, when that song came out, it was very rare that people sung about being gay. And that's exactly what Jimmy Summer did and Bronski Beat did back then. The single was Small Town Boy. And again, it was about a guy who knew he was gay and wasn't accepted by family and friends and had to leave. And that's a story for many, many gay youth who are not accepted and then leave their home and either become homeless or live on the streets. Actually, I shouldn't say homeless. I think it's unhoused these days. But anyways, this record brings me all those feelings. The single itself was really great. The video was awesome. It really, really kind of helped me deal with my emotions at the time. And then having allies like, in the early days anyways, having allies like Madonna who made it clear that being gay was okay, helped. But anyways, this album, like I said, came out in '84. Huge hit, a Small Town Boy, resonated with so many people and did chart, which was surprising. It also includes their other hit, Why, but that's all they had from this record back in the 80s. I think maybe in the UK they might have had their last song, I Feel Love, Johnny Remember Me, hit the charts in the UK. This is, like I said, a repress from 2018, and it's just one one record. It is a gatefold and it's colored. It's very cool. And this actually includes the CD. It also includes the insert with some pictures, lyrics. It is a gatefold, but it's sealed right now. Well, it's shrink wrapped, and I haven't unwrapped it yet. But yeah, great record and some emotional memories for me for back in the 80s. Moving on, we're going down here and we're pulling this one out, and this is another huge female artist, one of the most successful artists of the 80s, one of the most successful selling female artists ever, Janet Jackson. This album is called Janet, and of course it had several #1 hits from it. This record was multi-platinum. I think it sold over 10 million copies in the US alone. Or world. I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to lie to you guys. But anyways, this has the huge hit. I think it was #1 on Billboard Hot 100 for 8 weeks. And it's called That's the Way Love Goes. Great song. And that is actually, the video actually has J-Lo. I'm sure it's J-Lo's debut in a video format. She's in that video. It also has songs called Morning, which is an interlude. Another interlude, You Want This, which was a single. Be a Good Boy is an interlude. If was another single. Back is an interlude. This Time is another track. Go On Miss Janet is a interlude. Throb was an actual single as well. What All I Do is another single. Then we have another interlude called The Lounge. Funky Big Band is another song. And then record 2, there's Racism, which is an interlude. New Agenda. Love Part 2 is an interlude. Because of Love, which is another single, is there. And then Wind is an interlude. Again, another single is #6 on record 2. Another Lover is an interlude. Where Are You Now is #8. #9 is Hold On Baby, interlude. The Body That Loves You, song #10. Ram is an interlude, and Anytime, Any Place is another single. That is song #12. And then you have another interlude and another interlude. But yeah, this originally came out in 1993, and this was a repress from 2019. I'll quickly open it up and show you that it's a gatefold with all the lyrics pressed onto the 2 sides. That's the back cover. And it's not colored vinyl. It's just a standard black vinyl. Huge album. I did love the songs again. I thought that was a very pretty song. And I love That's the Way Love Goes. So yeah, that's Janet Jackson. And then we're going to go way over here to this side and pick this record. Ooh, yeah. This is an unofficial release for probably, well, not probably, but one of the best-selling female artists of all time. She began a career in the late 70s in New York, where she peddled her cassette tapes to DJs in some dance clubs. One of the DJs loved it, brought her music to, I think, Seymour Stein from Sire Records, and history was made. That artist is Madonna. She has sold over 300 million records worldwide. And this is, like I said, an unofficial release. It's greatest hits remixes. So it's GHV2. And it's got, all the dance music edits of some of her biggest singles. It is, like I said 3 times now, unofficial, and it's a picture disc. Kind of cool. So you have that as the cover. That's the back cover, and that's the picture disc. So this includes Deeper and Deeper, the 7-inch edit, Erotica, the radio edit, Human Nature radio version, Secret, the edit, Don't Cry for Me, Argentina radio edit, Bedtime Story edit, The Power of Goodbye, Beautiful Stranger, William Orbit radio edit, Frozen, Take a Bow, Ray of Light, Don't Tell Me What It Feels Like for a Girl, and Drowned World, A Substitute for Love, and music. So yeah, it's I thought I'd purchase this because I was always interested in this unofficial release, and love that I did purchase it because it's very interesting, and it's a cool, very cool record. So unofficial. This came out or was printed in 2001. Yeah. So that's that. Madonna currently only has 12 #1 Billboard Hot 100 hits. I think she is still in the top 10 of most #1 Billboard Hot 100 hits. Of course, we all know that I think it's Taylor Swift that has the most right now. No, not Taylor Swift. Female, I think it's still Mariah Carey. And then the Beatles have the most. Anyways, I digress. We'll move on to our last record, and I feel like I should go probably over here. Let's see. So this is an R&B artist, R&B pop artist, Brandy. And this is a collection of her greatest hits. It's the best of. This record specifically came out in 2022. And it was released for Black History Month. It was a special release. It's 2 LPs. It is gatefold, but it's still shrink wrapped. There is no internal art. But the record itself, because it's for Black History, is like a brown, reddish record for one of the records, and the other one, I think it's the same color. I'm not too sure. Yeah, it's the same color. So they're released for Black History Month. 2 LPs. It features Baby, Best Friend, I Want to Be Down, Broken Hearted. That features Wanya Morris, Angel in Disguise, The Boy's Mine, which was her biggest hit to date. It's a duet with Monica. Almost Doesn't Count is on here. Top of the World featuring Mace. You Don't Know Me Like You Used To featuring Shantae and Debrat. Have You Ever, Full Moon, What About Us, Who Is She to You, Talk About Our Love featuring Kanye West. Sitting Up in My Room, which is personally my favorite song from her. Rock With You, is Quincy Jones with Brandy and Heavy D. And she does a cover of Phil Collins' Another Day in Paradise from 1988. And the last single on the record is I Want to Be Down, which is a remix featuring Queen Latifah, Yo-Yo, and MC Lyte. So that's Brandy, and that's the best of. It's a really cool record. So I appreciate your time, and I thank you for watching my videos. Again, this is new to me. There's no filters. I'm just speaking from the top of my head, as you can see, because I don't really edit these videos, and really don't want to, because I want them to feel like they're authentic. So, and the information I provide obviously is off the top of my head, and from what I can remember. I hope you like. I hope you subscribe. If you have any comments, please feel free to share them. Until then, we'll see you next time when I share other vinyl records. Take care. Keep spreading love and positivity into the world. See you soon.